Well, in my spare time, I run a YouTube channel.
What's the YouTube channel number 3?
It's literally called Acting is Reacting.
That seems
Welcome to Acting is Reacting with me, Joe, or JSB, aka that guy what was on NDL. Well, today, by popular demand, I'm bringing back my self-reaction format and checking myself out in that NDL 6 adults versus 2 kids video. Now, if you don't know what that is, sit tight, I'll explain all. But for those who do and have wondered things like how it's possible for the adults to be so thick, well, hopefully I'll explain that too. First thing to say is that though I am an actor, and this is probably labelled actor's reaction to blah, this was not an acting job. Just one of the random things I get up to in between acting roles that A, keeps my life interesting, and B, gives me a bit of cash in between other things that prevents me basically having the need for a proper job, thank goodness, because I'm not cut out for the real world, as we shall see. Hence why I'm wearing the same hoodie today, in fact, just to prove it's really mine and not a costume. And yeah, sadly what you will see in this video is the real me. So a lot of you have asked how I ended up on this in the first place. Well, I applied to a job post on a site that said, "We're looking for cast age 25 plus to be featured in a YouTube game show. The show is super fun and you will be part of a lineup blindfolded and asking each other questions to find out who the imposter in the lineup is." It wasn't done in that voice. That was just, yeah. Anyway, so it did sound fun, if not super fun, whatever that is, especially being someone who likes a good game. Good game, good game. That's a reference for the oldies amongst you, if there are any. Anyway, they did give us more info on the day, and that's where it gets interesting because they basically lied to us. But I'll get to that a bit later. Now, if you haven't done so already, do smash that like button. Thank you. And I will have a watch of NDL 6 kids versus 2 adults featuring me. Here goes.
we are adults. And these are kids, and they're going up against each other to find out who the ultimate adult is.
Here's how it's gonna work. There are 6 adults, but among them are 2 kids. The aim for both kids is to outlast the other by convincing the contestants that they are also adults. The twist is, each kid will be assigned a secret protector. The aim of the protector is to help their kid convince the contestants in any way possible that they are adults. There will also be a voice changer to help the kids blend in through the headphones.
Oh no, I'm a production coordinator.
Whichever kid lasts the longest gets put to the final battle to see who the ultimate adult is. Let's start the first game.
All right, before we start the first game, well, there's 2 things I can say already. We were told there would be 6 adults, true, and we would be looking for 1 child. 1. Obviously, we were also not told that among the 6 adults would be 2 adults who weren't normal. So we thought there were 6 adults playing the game trying to find the 1 child. That will explain a lot of what is to follow. So let's carry on.
It's me and Raphael. What's the game plan, my friend?
We're going to eliminate all the other teams while looking like innocent adults.
Adults.
That are like, yeah.
Just cool and chill.
This is Alfie. We're nearly the same height, so we're going to be talking on the same level. What are we doing, Alfie?
Bradley Miller, you bastard. Okay, so Bradley is going to be right next to me, and I didn't even know. Some of you will know Bradley from Beta Squads. Yes, the police officer. I've known Bradley for about 10 years. We've worked on loads of stuff together. And I formerly considered him a friend. Not anymore, Bradley. You're dead to me. Yeah, carry on. Explain your strategy, you traitor.
We're both going to be zookeepers and make sure we tell them the exact same things as we're the exact same job.
And we're not going to go out in the first round. Let's do this.
2 zookeepers. What could possibly go wrong?
Contestants, you are all adults, except today there is an imposter among you. It is your job to
An imposter. An imposter.
identify who that imposter is. You will have 5 minutes each round to discuss between yourselves. At the end of the round, you will vote for who you believe the imposter is, and they will be eliminated. Round 1 will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so the first clue that something was up comes in a moment when we reveal that there are in fact 8 people in this lineup. Now I can do maths, and 6 adults plus 1 child did not add up to 8. Even still, yeah. I'll let you see how this plays out, and don't expect to hear much from me for a few minutes, because number 3 doesn't say much. Hey.
I feel like the best way to start this would be for everyone to say what their job is. So could we start with number 1?
My
And of course it's Nico driving everything. When you're there and blindfolded, you don't really know. And it's obvious in retrospect, as so many things are.
job is a zookeeper.
I'm a zookeeper as well.
Okay, are we all gonna breeze over the fact we got 2 zookeepers here?
So strange.
Whoever said that, I think you're sus.
What, that doesn't mean we can't have 2 zookeepers?
But number 2, go on, tell me. Name 3 things a zookeeper has to do.
So I feed the animals, I keep maintenance of the whole zoo in general, and I also look after the 24-hour surveillance.
Number
Yeah, nice try, Braddles. You will note that Brad was putting on a bit of a voice there, but what we hear in those headphones, everybody sounds like a child. Even when your own voice comes back to you, you hear it and it sounds really strange. So just bear that in mind as to what is to follow.
3, what's your job?
Cashier in a supermarket.
That's a bit sus.
Number 2, you're already sus.
Obviously, I couldn't say I'm an actor because that would be really sus.
I just want to say an adult usually wouldn't use the word sus. I'd say that's a term from Among Us. I was probably 1 or 2 who's saying that. But number 4, what?
Look at Nico throwing 1 and 2 under the bus here. Yeah, he's protecting his kid. Again, when you're hearing all of this, you don't know who's saying what. You don't, I mean, at this point, we don't even know that there's 8 people here. So, yeah.
What's your job?
I'm a teacher.
What do you teach?
Children.
Okay.
Well, that's obvious.
Number 5, what's your job?
I don't have one. I'm old enough to be retired.
That's an obvious answer.
Number 6, what's your job?
I work in a bank.
In a bank, all right.
Lots and lots of money.
What type of bank?
A big one.
I think that's a bit sus too, right?
And as will soon be pointed out, I'm not saying much because I'd heard myself talk. And first time your own voice hits you in that crazy childlike voice, I was like, and all these voices are sounding, you think they're sounding a bit odd here. They are sounding absolutely crazy to those of us listening. I'm getting the excuses in early, obviously. Okay, carry on.
I'm a production coordinator.
That's not sus at all.
That sounds like a good job.
Thank you, thank you. And number 8, what's your job?
I work at the National History Museum in South Kensington.
So yeah, when you're watching it, that sounds very obvious, but bear in mind that everybody sounds just as stupid in the headphones. It was maybe a bit sus, but not that much more sus than anything else that was going on.
I couldn't even say something because he's done.
Why the hell am I saying sus? It's catchy.
What do you do there, number 8?
I study fossils and collect them.
Do you like working in the zoo, number 1?
Yes, I love working with animals as they're my favourite thing ever.
Oh, me too. That's why I'm in a zoo as well.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
feeling very sus about number 2. He's repeating everything that number 1 says.
To be fair, Even though Raphael is doing that deliberately, it's entirely true.
That's because we've got a lot in common, both working in a zoo. How old are you then, number 8?
I am 42 years old,
Yeah.
and I was born in 1982, March 23rd.
Yeah, that checks out. That definitely checks out.
I pray Raphael makes it.
Number 1, 2000
How old
Olympics.
was you when you started working at the National History Museum, then, number 8?
Oh, look, Bradley's going against Nico here, and he's not going to win.
Can we ask number 1 a question? Is that okay?
That's time. Contestant number 1, who do you think the imposter is?
Number 3, because he didn't say a lot.
Number 3 didn't say a lot, but number 3 at this very point is thinking, how does somebody know who said anything and who hasn't?
I think it's number 3 as well. He didn't say anything.
Contestant number 3, who do you think the imposter is?
I think it was number 2 because zookeepers don't look after all the animals.
That's very true, number 3.
Contestant number 4.
Number 2.
Number 1.
I think it's number 2.
I think it's very obviously number 2.
It's definitely number 2, and there's no running away anymore.
Bradley's out.
He done what he could to protect his boy. That's why he put on the
But
bonus.
now he's leaving and his kid's gonna be alone in the game.
Contestant
Yeah. So, Bradley is done for. Now, obviously, it's in a row. I've got my suspicions about number 8 already, but number 1 and 2 were gunning for me. So, what choice did I have but to go for one of them? And I didn't have a blooming clue that I was voting for Bradley.
number 2, you've received the most amount of votes and are therefore eliminated from the game. Can you only?
I just say, I'm really cool in my posing style. Yeah, no, maybe not. You can roll
Please
along.
remove your blindfold and exit the game.
Oh, some ads. We'll skip this.
Remaining contestants, the imposter is still among you.
We got the wrong zookeeper.
Bradley definitely messed up by saying he's a zookeeper. He should have said he's a model, because he's wearing that beautiful NDL clothing, the designer clothes, which is the best in the world. So make sure you get it at
Yeah.
shopndl.com.
Guys, shopndl.com.
Begin.
I wish we all had.
2, 1.
All right, let me just start things off. Number 1, please tell me who Steve Irwin is.
I don't know.
So you're a zookeeper and you don't know who Steve Irwin is, yeah?
I only just started working there
When did you start?
3 months ago.
Bear in mind here, we 4 in the middle, we still believe there's only one child in amongst this, most likely.
Tigers.
What's your favourite zoo programme?
Madagascar.
No,
That's a cartoon.
that's not real.
I love watching it with my kids.
Nice.
That's a good save.
How many kids do you have?
1. No, 2.
Yeah, kids plural, how many do you have? 1. Yeah, I think you can see where this round's going and why.
Oh, he's messed up. He's messed up. He's messed up.
Okay, number 1, so you've got 2 kids. What are their names?
Sophie and Jemima.
How old are they?
Sophie is 3 and Jemima's 1 month.
What year was
Oh, he's got a 1-month-old. No wonder he forgot he had a second child, of course.
Jemima born?
2024.
And what year was Sophie born?
2022.
Well done, that checks out. So, how old are you?
I'm 27.
And what year were you born?
1996.
Doesn't add up. Not at all.
Because, as I've mentioned before, I can do maths. So you can see why, shortly, we'll think we've got the child.
Number 8, what was your birthday? It was March the 3rd. Oh, yeah, March the 3rd.
My birthday's March the 4th, but that's pretty cool, mate.
You took quite long to answer that, I think.
That's
Look at these kids going against each other. And yeah, by now, I can't even remember. There was one point where I thought, hang on, there's more than one here. But yeah, you can only vote for one at a time. Let's see what happens.
Time. Contestant number 1. Who do you think the imposter is?
Number 3, once again, he did say nothing.
Contestant number 3.
Number 1.
Contestant number 4. Who do you think the imposter is?
Number 3.
Number 1.
Definitely number 1.
Sorry, mate, you've done a valiant effort, but it's number 1, I think.
No.
I vote number 1. Sorry.
Contestant number 1, you received the most amount of votes and are therefore eliminated from the
Look at Nico and Raphael being so pleased to get rid of the other child. Is that how the game should work?
game.
I don't know.
Can you only please remove your blindfold and exit the game? Remaining contestants, the imposter is still among you.
Oh my gosh, it might actually be number 3.
Round 3 will begin in 3, 2.
Now he's got to gun for me, but he's not going to get away with that, is he? No.
Number 3, you've been not talking for like a long time.
Number 3, what do you like doing in your free time?
Well, in my spare time.
Now, obviously, there's some cuts here because I did make a rather obvious pitch that who can tell who's speaking, and that I had actually been speaking by this point. A reasonable amount. So, yeah. I'll just rewind slightly to answer this very important question, which you already know the answers to, I know.
Number 3, what do you like doing in your free time?
Well, in my spare time, I run a YouTube channel.
What's the YouTube channel, number 3?
Thanks for asking, Nico. I didn't think A, that you'd ask, or B, that you'd keep it in, but here we go.
It's literally called Acting is Reacting.
That seems like a very childish thing to say.
Yeah, it's Nico saying it's a childish thing to do, run a YouTube channel. Again, when you're hearing all the voices in the head, anybody could have been saying that. It only makes sense after the fact, doesn't it? Yes, yes it does.
And how many subscribers have you got?
900.
Oh, thank you for asking, number, whatever number you are. So this is recorded in late January, and I had 980 something. I'd like to point out that about not even 10 days after this, I hit 1,000 subs. I was already on my 4,000 watch hours, so I got monetization all off my own bat, right? I didn't need help. Just wanted to get that clear. As for the number of subs I have now, well, that has gone up slightly, thanks largely to this.
180 as of this morning.
That sounds childish too, if it was a low number.
Why did that?
Bradley just sitting back there laughing at me and not even saying, hey, come on, Joe, go for it. Blast it.
If it's a low number, that might be childish.
Number 8, what's your favourite fossil?
My favourite fossil is the Archiborex or something. I forgot the name. It's kind of confusing. It's like a flying dinosaur, and it was like, people think it's the grandfather of all living birds. And I think that's really interesting.
And how old is that fossil?
And remember, when you're watching Raphael doing that, he doesn't, to us, actually sound very much stupider than anybody else. I mean, a little bit stupider, but not a lot.
Well, I don't know. No one asked me this question.
Yeah, that's a weird
but
question.
if you work in the National Museum and fossils is your thing, you should know how old that fossil is.
That's a very suspicious question, to be honest, I think.
That's time. Contestant number 3, who do you think the imposter is?
I don't have a clue, but I might be number 6.
Contestant number 4.
I'm gonna say, because there's a total.
So clearly I wasn't on Raphael's case. I'm now remembering at what point I get on his case. That's coming right up.
Really random guess now. Number 7.
I'm going to go with 4.
Number 8.
I think it's clearly number 6. Number 6 is such a blatant child.
I think it's number 6.
Contestant number 6, You've received the most amount of votes and are therefore eliminated from the game. Can you please remove your blindfold?
Sorry, number 6, that was my fault because I guessed you first and then obviously the others who knew better jumped on you. But hey, that serves you right for being suspicious of me in the first place.
And exit the game. Remaining contestants, the imposter is still among you.
What?
Wow.
And also what they've cut out is when they were doing their guesses, Raphael didn't just say, I think it's number 6. He went on for about 3 hours about why, and that's when I was thinking, something weird's going on with this guy.
Round 4 will begin in 3, 2,
We're
1.
nearing the end,
Right, I
folks.
think we need to be logical about this, and we need to ask a question to every single one.
How have I ended up on a jaunty angle? I don't know. But I guess we're all a little bit... No, number 4 is nice and straight on. Well done, number 4.
Something a kid would not know.
Yeah, I agree.
I think David, because I do know his name, is about to talk about Monty Python.
Number 5 asking number 4, name 2 members of Monty Python.
2.
Haha.
I don't know that either. What the hell is it? I don't know it.
Okay, that doesn't make me a child.
Yeah, it does.
I'm
convinced.
I'm a young adult.
I'm convinced it's number 4 now.
Can we ask the same question to number 8? 2 members
Look at that, me going for number 8. Told you I was on top.
of Monty Python, please, number 8.
The Monty Python?
Monty Python's an old film.
It's not a film, it's a troupe of comedians.
It is a film!
They made films, but it's not a film. But you wouldn't know that as a child.
I still knew it was a film.
Okay, number 3, have you got any questions?
I just asked number 8 a question, but they didn't really answer it.
Could I get a question? Is that okay?
Yeah. You see? I'm on it and he knows it.
That's time. Contestant number 3. Who do you think the imposter is?
Between 4 and 8 now. I'm going to say 8.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even realise that I was still in any doubt. But obviously because Ford also didn't know anything about Monty Python. But for good reason, as it turns out. And of course, remembering that everybody sounds stupidly childish, it was plausible.
I don't know why I'm cheating. I want Raphael to sing.
I'm definitely
I love that they're happy that I've gone for 8.
going to say 8.
8.
It's blatantly number 4. Number 4 is a child pretending to be an adult.
Number 4!
Contestant number 8. You've received the most amount of votes and are therefore eliminated from the game. Please remove your blindfold.
He done well. Yeah, Raphael done well. He done well.
Remaining contestants, please remove your blindfolds.
Now, just before this happened, do you know what they did? They said, the imposter is still among you. And I said, oh, for goodness sake. But no, they were... I don't know why they even did that. They've obviously cut right here to us taking off the blindfolds. But if we look confused as to why it's suddenly over, that's why.
I was the kid.
You did great. You did a great job, my friend. Well done.
You did.
So what gave number 8 away?
I think it's the rambling. It was the
Yeah, the rambling, which is mostly the only time you know it's number 8 speaking is when they're saying who they think it is.
constant.
Which is
You
why it
never
took us
really
so
heard
long.
from them until they were voting people out, and then they said really random.
And it's very
Really random stuff.
We're trying
Yeah, basically what I said there.
to get to 100 million subscribers, so make sure you subscribe right now.
Yeah, everybody, subscribe to NDL because they've only got a pathetic 3.6 million subs so far. It's like, yeah. Anyway, there's another half hour of this to go, but I'm not in it, so we're going to stop there. All right, that was 6 adults versus 2 kids, with some, I hope, explanation as to how it played out like it did, and some amusement for me seeing it, or at least the edited highlights, after having done it for real and not had a clue what was going on, as you could probably tell for most of that. The fact that Bradley was in there this close to me and I had no inkling. I mean, the bastard didn't even come down afterwards and say hello to me. I mean, how rude is that? Yeah, you're really in the dog box. Dog box? Dog house. Bad box. Go lock yourself in your zoo, Bradley. Obviously, I'm joking. Love Braddles. Anyway, yeah. Interesting. No doubt you'll have more questions, which I'm happy to answer. Anyway, funnily enough, I had actually applied and been booked for an entirely different episode where they were looking for people from different countries, and I was hired to represent New Zealand because that is where I'm from. Yes, it really is. Anyway, last minute, i.e. about 8 o'clock the night before, I got an email saying they had rejigged it and I wasn't needed, but would still get paid anyway, so hooray. And then that freed me up to come and do this one, because obviously they don't want the same people on every single episode. Indeed, it's been how many years since I did the Beta Squad thing, and yeah, because I'm so memorable on that. Not as memorable as Bradley on his. Anyway, as I said, I used to do these kind of self-reactions fairly regularly when I first started the channel, but stopped as, to put it bluntly, no bugger gave a rat's. But if you would like me to react to the Beta Squad, guess the convict episode perhaps, or any other random thing that might be out there that I've done, let me know. Meanwhile, you can check out all the old ones in a handy playlist on one side of my head, and I'll just say thanks for watching today and bye for now, but not for long.
Acting is reacting. This does not mean acting again.